From 1996, that Boyzone with Words, a loved soak cover that would make even the Bee Gees blush with pride. And before that, well, you had Greg's golden hours of tunes curated with the kind of finesse that makes every music streaming platform's AI seriously jealous and wondering why management fired the human who programmed it in the first place. Anyway, that's enough ranting about AI, because I can tell you that Greg is back tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. And you know the drill. Don't miss it. Anyway, right now though, it's you, it's me, and 2 hours of silky smooth 90s and noughties sounds built for the dreamers, the night shifters, the curl up and breathe crowd. Welcome to Freedom FM's Night Cruise. And whether you're winding down, still working, or just vibing in that special pocket of peace, I'm delighted that you've dropped in. Tonight's playlist, let's just say it's smoother than satin on a candlelit pillow. But if you think this show is just about music, think again, because coming up after midnight, it's Love Lyrics. And before that, though, in this hour, it's going to be Monday Punday. And if you've never heard of either of those bits, stick around, because I will explain all in a tick. And if you want to reach out to us tonight, and why wouldn't you? We are here for you on WhatsApp or text on 086 206 8888. That's 086 206 8888. And if WhatsApping is not your thing, then there's hello at freedomfm.ie. And not only that, I'm also on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, even says.us as voice actor Ferg. Search it, stalk it, ping it. I'll be there for you. Right, with all that said, kettle on, shoulders down. Ready? Okay, let's make midnight feel like magic, shall we? And we'll begin in 3, 2, 1. Reliving the noughties and the 90s, this is the Night Cruise on Freedom FM, where the tracks are dipped in romance, wrapped in relaxation, and are cooler than a cucumber in the fridge at midnight. Now, listen up, because I gotta tell you, if you are the kind of person who likes your mornings with a splash of sunshine and a kick of good music, we have your wake-up call covered. No snooze buttons required. Mondays and Tuesdays hit play with the legendary Mike O'Brien at 8 a.m, the man who brings the kind of energy that makes coffee jealous. Come Wednesdays and Thursdays, Aidan Power steps in with some midweek magic, bright, breezy, and downright brilliant. It's like someone bottled optimism and popped it in front of a microphone. And on Fridays, Saoirse and Tim serve it hot, stylish, snappy, always on point, like your favourite playlist got dressed up for the weekend. So whether you're dancing in the dark or stretching into the sunrise, Freedom FM is your morning soundtrack. You're listening to Freedom FM's Night Cruise, the soft-spoken symphony of late-night love and lyrical lounging from the glorious age of the 90s and, of course, the noughties. And tonight, you lot, as you always do on Monday at this time, have not only been listening to the music, but you've also been punning like poets for our Monday Punday game, the part of the show where you take a celebrity, band, or fictional character name and mash it up with a theme, which tonight happens to be all things weddings. And then you send me in something so brilliantly daft, it deserves its own confetti cannon. So let's start this evening's Monday Punday with Clodagh McKenna from Rathcoole. Feargal, she says, when it comes to weddings, I just don't head to the reception. I strut straight into the Terence reception tent derby, where the vibes are fancy, the dancing is fierce, and every speech sounds like it is being delivered by a Hollywood legend. Clodagh. And after that, we just have to dust off our tuxes, fluff the fascinators, and brace for the bouquet, because that pun was pure red carpet magnificence. Thank you so much. Next up, Eamon Donnelly has reached out from Nace. Fergus, says Eamon, what do you get when you cross the most cherished moment of the wedding with a famously controversial cyclist? Say hello to First Dance Armstrong. Eamon, I tell you, you must have spent the last month watching the Tour de France, because that pun, that's just pedaled straight into the party with romance, rhythm, and a scandalous sprint down the aisle. Thank you so much. Now, I can tell you that Emer O'Malley has been in touch with us from Maynooth. Virgil, she says, I've been musing on wedding mishaps, and there's one place you definitely don't want to find yourself trapped in, namely the Iron Maiden of Honour. Emer, that pun not only has more punch than a power ballad in a cathedral, it's also a head-banging bridal nightmare, I think. Thank you so much. And finally for this round, let's say good evening to Liam Keegan in Walkinstown, who says, weddings, suits, speeches, sure, they're all lovely, but when I show up, I don't settle for second fiddle. I am the George best man, stylish, unpredictable, and likely to steal the show before the vows are even done. Liam, all I can say is that pun is pure midfield marvel, and you're not coming to any wedding of mine anytime soon. Now, listen up. If your pun is still brewing like a first dance latte, then send it in. Take any celebrity, band or fictional character name and mash it up with weddings. And then send in your funniest fusion on text or WhatsApp to 086268888. That's 086268888. But be quick, because our last round of Monday Punday is coming right up after we hear from Maroon 5. It's Freedom FM's Night Cruise, and you know, every Monday between 11 and midnight, we like to play Monday Punday, the game where wordplay gets wild as you create some stunning puns by combining any celebrity, band or fictional character name with the theme that I've pulled out of my top hat. And tonight's theme is weddings, and your puns, well, they arrived dressed to impress and left the reception with half the cake and all of the applause. So before the bouquet toss brings us into midnight, let's do our final round of Monday Punday puns, starting with Evelyn O'Rourke in Trim, who says, you know that moment at a wedding when your young nephew beams down the aisle in his tiny tux? Well, imagine if he had Broadway pipes combined with a diva presence. And with that in mind, I've crossed a theatre legend with ring bearer perfection, and out steps Elaine Page, boy. Evelyn, I tell you, that pun has Les Mis in its lunchbox, Phantom Flare in its pocket, and a ring pillow stuffed with stage directions. Thank you so much for reaching out. Next up, let's hear from Carl O'Hanlon in Clonskee. First, he says, when it comes to weddings, forget the speeches, the dodgy dancing. The real star of the show is the Roseanne Free Bar. Cattle, your pun has soul, spirits, and a splash of sitcom sparkle with every pore. Thank you so much for getting in touch. Now, who's next? Yes, it's Fiona Sheehan, who's in Rialto, and she says, I've crossed the silky smooth soul of Barry White with the rebellious romance of a Billy Idol classic, and outstepped Barry White wedding. Fiona, your pun is smoother than champagne in a hot tub. Thank you for reaching out this evening. And finally, I can tell you that Thomas Maguire is in Bray. Feargal says, I have crossed a powerful Welsh voice with the ultimate bridal panic and came up with Charlotte, get me to the church on time. Thomas, I tell you, that pun is more dazzling than a last-minute limo dash in a thunderstorm. Thank you so much for getting in touch. So, to everyone who texted, threaded, doodled, or howled your pun into the moonlight this evening, thank you so much. If yours didn't make it on air, know that they definitely made it into the studio's laugh log, I tell you. And if you loved Monday Punday, pass it on. Tell your flatmate, barista, mum, mate, or that mysterious bloke down the kebab shop, and get them all involved next Monday just after 11 when we have another round of this linguistic lunacy. But don't wander too far, because you know what? We've got love lyrics landing after midnight. You in? Good. Stick around.